Yeah, so the question is, should you get your real estate license if you want to invest in real estate? Um, yes and no. I mean, it depends. It might be beneficial to you in the sense that, yeah, maybe you're able to save that, 2 or 3% commission when you buy or sell. But what I found is most of the properties that I'm buying it direct from an owner most of the time. And so in that case, there's no 3% commission to save or get on the commission because, you just reduce the price. You're not taking, it's not like it's a property that's already been listed, it's on the MLS, there's already the commission there to be taken. And another thing is, another way that I find deals is through wholesalers. And with wholesalers, it doesn't matter because the way wholesaling works is they have a house that's under contract for this amount. Let's say it's $100,000, how much they offered to buy the house. And then they come to me and they say, hey, I have a house. Would you buy it for $120,000? And I look at it and I say, $120,000 is still a great deal. I'll pay that amount. There's still no commission there because it's not listed. The only time it really comes in and is beneficial, in my opinion, is something that's on the MLS. So then you have to ask yourself, would it be better for me to save that 3%? And it's not free because you have to go through all your licensing courses that you have to pay for. You have to go out, take the test. That takes time and energy and money. Then you have to maintain your license. You have to pay the MLS dues, realtor dues. I mean, it's like $1,500 a year just to maintain having your license and being a part of the board and having the access to the MLS. So if you're planning on buying one house a year for $100,000, for example, that's $3,000. Is it worth going through all of that to hopefully get $3,000 back when you buy that property? The reality is probably not. And the nice thing about working with an agent is you can make sure that the agent is out there looking for properties for you. So you're looking on the side, they're looking. I mean, everyone is working together to find you a property. And then you might be able to even get more value out of that than out of just saving a few $1,000s on commission. Now, if your business model is, you're selling 5 or 10 houses a year for yourself, well, that might make a little bit more sense. Now, one thing to consider is you might be able to work out a deal with a real estate agent where, hey, maybe they'll, when they help you resell a property, maybe they'll give you a little bit better deal on the listing commission because they helped you buy the house and, it's constantly flowing. I mean, there's ways that you could work out a deal that's a win-win for you and your agent. But for most people, I just don't think it's really worth it. And what I've found being a broker and having real estate agents and working with other real estate agents all the time is a lot of times just because you have a real estate license doesn't mean you know how to find a good deal. It doesn't mean you know all the ins and outs of the contracts and all of these things. In fact, a secondary question I get a lot is, should I get my real estate license just to know more about real estate and how the process works? And the reality is, unfortunately, having a real estate license, I know a lot of real estate agents that they have a license and they don't know anything about real estate, it seems. So just getting the license isn't going to give you really a head start in learning how to actually invest, what makes a good deal, how to lock down financing, how to work with buyers and sellers, how to find the sellers that you have properties that you would want to buy. All these things are skills you're going to need to know as a real estate investor, and just having a license doesn't give you any of that. So I think for most people the answer is no, having a real estate license is not beneficial. In fact, having a real estate license makes it so that you have more of a fiduciary duty to disclose to sellers or buyers that you're working with or potentially working with other options. So like when I go and meet with a seller, for example, I have to tell them, hey, this is what I'm willing to offer, and this is what we could get if you put it on the market. And so I have to give them the comparison, because otherwise, at the end of the day, they're going, well, you have a real estate license, you ripped me off by getting a good deal on the property, which I'm not trying to rip anybody off, but as an investor, there has to be profit. So those are some things to consider. unless you're really wanting to make a business out of flipping houses or selling houses to other people, I don't think having a real estate license is really going to help you as much as a lot of people think it will. Another thought is, people ask me, well, don't you get all the good deals because you're in real estate? It's a big difference. I talk to real estate agents all the time. And I talk to agents all the time asking them to send me deals, right? And so don't think that I'm not doing what I'm telling you guys to do. When I say call agents, see if they have deals, when I'm saying, you have to talk to other agents, work with other agents, I do this all the time personally for my own personal sales, not just as a real estate broker. So I'll talk to agents all the time and they go, and I'll say, hey, do you have any investment properties that I might like to look at? And a lot of times they'll respond back, well, you would know before I know. Well, I don't know all their clients, and all this kind of thing. But it just goes to show that the magic isn't in being a real estate agent and all of a sudden people are coming to you with real estate deals that they want you to buy. The key that I have that a lot of people don't have is I'm out there talking to sellers all day. That's all I do, is talk to people like you that might have a house. Maybe you inherited a house, right? And it's beat up. Grandma lived there for 50 years. She didn't take care of it the last 20 years. There's leaks. There's, the carpet's all messed up. The dogs were in there, pooping and peeing, or, whatever the case may be. I'm talking to people like that all the time. That's all I do. And so that's why I'm able to find deals, is just because I'm talking to people about real estate all day long. Guess what? You can do that without a real estate license. There's no license that says that you could talk to people. You just have to go out there and do it, and that's the hard part. And anybody who's been in real estate for any amount of time and has actually tried to make a business out of it, I think will agree with me that it's not just having the license that does it. There's a lot more that goes into it, and just having the license isn't going to give you what you want. It's going out there and finding it, working for it. And unfortunately, there's no shortcuts. You just kind of have to do it. Going back to working with other real estate agents, when I list a property that I personally own and I save that 2 or 3% there, I'm still having to pay the agent on the other side. So I'm still paying whoever's bringing me the buyer. They're still getting that 3% commission. So even though I have a license, I'm still paying it out. So it's not like I'm saving money on all the commission. I'm only saving money on a portion of the commission. But that's not, my business plan isn't making money because of that 3%. In fact, I actually pay myself a full 6% commission to sell my houses. And I know it kind of sounds convoluted, because why would I pay myself just to get it back? But it makes sure that my numbers are accurate. Because here's the deal, if I'm only making a 3% profit margin and I'm not charging myself a commission, all I'm getting paid for in this whole remodel process is being a real estate agent. And if I find that that's the case, I'll stop flipping houses. I'll just go to selling houses exclusively, because why would I do all the work to remodel it just to get paid on what I would have made as a real estate agent? I would rather find an investor who would buy the property themselves and do all the work, and then I could represent them on the sale, make the same amount of money, and not do any of the work. Okay, so I still charge myself the full 6%. That way, when I'm looking through the numbers and I go, okay, I bought it for this much, I put this much work into it, it cost me this much to sell it, here's the $40,000 profit. That's after I've paid a full commission. That way, if I go out of state and do the same thing, I can still afford to hire the real estate agent out there and know that I'm going to make my money, because I factor in the full commission every time I flip a property.